Japan is often seen as a country of peaceful temples, futuristic cities, and breathtaking landscapes. Millions of travelers visit famous places like Tokyo and Kyoto every year. But beyond the bright lights and crowded streets, another side of Japan exists, a darker side. Across the country, there are locations surrounded by strange legends, ghost stories, and unexplained mysteries. Places that feel unsettling even in daylight, and when Halloween night arrives, these locations become even more chilling. Today, we're exploring 10 of the creepiest places to visit in Japan on Halloween. Some of these places are tied to ancient folklore. Others are connected to tragic events. But all of them have one thing in common. They are places you probably wouldn't want to visit alone after dark. Halloween was never originally part of Japanese culture, but in recent decades it has grown into one of the country's biggest modern celebrations. Every year, huge crowds gather in places like Shibuya wearing elaborate costumes. The streets fill with music, lights, and thousands of people celebrating late into the night. Theme parks such as Universal Studios Japan also host massive Halloween events featuring haunted houses and horror attractions. But while the cities celebrate with parties and costumes, there are places across Japan where the atmosphere already feels like Halloween all year long. Remote mountains, ancient shrines, forgotten tunnels, and abandoned buildings. And on a quiet October night, these locations can feel truly unsettling. Let's begin with number 10. Hidden within the busy streets of Tokyo is a small shrine connected to one of the most famous ghost stories in Japan. The shrine is dedicated to a woman named Oiwa. Her tragic story dates back to the Edo period and became the inspiration for one of Japan's most famous kabuki ghost tales. According to the legend, Oiwa was betrayed and poisoned by her husband. The poison left her face horribly disfigured. After her death, her restless spirit is said to have haunted the man responsible for her suffering. The story became so well known that it inspired countless plays, films, and horror stories. Because of this legend, many actors and filmmakers still visit the shrine today before performing the story. They come to pay respect to Oiwa's spirit. Some believe that failing to do so can bring bad luck. Whether or not you believe the legend, the quiet atmosphere of the shrine at night can feel surprisingly eerie, especially on Halloween. In the remote northern region of Japan lies a place many locals believe is connected to the world of the dead. Mount Osore, located in Aomori Prefecture, is one of the most unusual landscapes in the country. The name itself translates to Mount Fear. The environment surrounding the mountain looks almost otherworldly. The ground is covered with pale volcanic rocks, steam rises from sulfur vents, and the air often smells strongly of sulfur. The barren landscape has led many people to compare it to descriptions of the Buddhist underworld. For centuries, pilgrims have traveled here to pray for lost loved ones. The mountain is also famous for spiritual mediums who claim to communicate with the spirits of the dead. On misty days, the entire area can feel strangely silent and isolated, making it one of the most haunting places in Japan, especially as night begins to fall. One of Japan's most famous urban legends involves a place known as Himuro Mansion. According to the story, the mansion once belonged to a secretive family that performed ancient Shinto rituals. The ritual was said to involve a tragic human sacrifice intended to seal away evil spirits, but the ceremony reportedly failed, and the consequences were said to be horrific. Legend claims that every member of the family died under mysterious circumstances. Since then, the mansion has become the center of countless ghost stories. Some versions of the legend claim that people who enter the property experience strange phenomena. Footsteps echoing through empty hallways, doors moving on their own, and shadowy figures appearing in dark rooms. To this day, no one has ever confirmed the exact location of the mansion, but the story has become one of the most famous haunted legends in Japan. Just outside the historic city of Kyoto lies a tunnel surrounded by eerie stories. The Kiyotaki Tunnel was built in the early 1900s and stretches through the mountains west of the city. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary road tunnel, but over the years it has developed a reputation as one of the most haunted places in Japan. One of the most famous legends says that the tunnel's length changes depending on how it is measured. Some people claim it measures around 444 meters. In Japanese culture, the number 4 is associated with death, because the word for 4 sounds similar to the word for death. Drivers passing through the tunnel at night have reported strange experiences. Some say their car radios suddenly stop working. Others claim they have seen ghostly figures standing near the walls of the tunnel. Whether these stories are true or simply urban legends, the dark atmosphere inside the tunnel can feel unsettling, especially on a quiet Halloween night. Inside the grounds of one of Japan's most famous castles lies a place tied to a chilling legend. Himeji Castle is known for its beautiful white architecture and long history, but hidden within its walls is a small well connected to one of Japan's most famous ghost stories. According to the legend, a servant named Okiku was falsely accused of losing a valuable plate belonging to her master. When she insisted she was innocent, her master became furious. Some versions of the story say she was thrown into the well as punishment. Others claim she was killed and her body was hidden there. Soon after her death, people began reporting strange sounds coming from the well at night. They claimed they could hear a woman's voice counting plates, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. But when she reaches 10, the counting suddenly stops, and a chilling scream echoes from the darkness. For centuries, the story of Okiku has been retold in Japanese theater, literature, and film, and the well at Himeji Castle remains one of the most famous haunted locations in the country. On the island of Okinawa stands an abandoned hotel that has become the center of many strange stories. The Nakagusuku Hotel was originally planned as a large resort overlooking the ocean. Construction began in the 1970s. But according to local stories, something unusual happened during the building process. Some workers claimed the construction site disturbed ancient graves in the area. Soon after, reports of strange accidents and unexplained events began to circulate. Because of these stories, construction was eventually abandoned. The unfinished building has remained empty for decades. Nature has slowly begun reclaiming the structure. Broken windows, cracked concrete, and vines creeping through the halls. Today, the ruins have become a popular location for urban explorers, but many locals still prefer to stay away, especially after dark. Deep in the mountains of Yamanashi Prefecture stands a bridge surrounded by one of the region's darkest legends. The name Oiranbuchi roughly translates to the courtesan's ravine. According to local folklore, the story dates back hundreds of years. At the time, the area was home to gold mines that relied on forced labor. Workers were brought from distant regions to mine the gold, and among them were courtesans who were brought to entertain the miners. Legend says that when the mines were eventually closed, the authorities feared that these women might reveal the secrets of the mine, so they were led to the bridge and thrown into the ravine below. Some stories claim that dozens of women died there. Over the years, visitors have reported hearing strange sounds near the bridge at night, whispers carried by the wind, or the faint sound of footsteps when no one else is nearby. Whether the legend is true or not, the remote location and dark history give Oiranbuchi an unsettling reputation. And on Halloween night, the quiet mountain valley can feel especially eerie. At the base of Mount Fuji lies a network of volcanic caves formed by ancient eruptions. One of the most mysterious among them is the Narusawa Ice Cave. The cave was formed more than 1,000 years ago when lava flows hardened and left hollow tunnels beneath the ground. Inside the cave, temperatures remain extremely cold throughout the entire year. Even during summer, ice formations can still be found inside. The interior of the cave is narrow and dark. Low ceilings and twisting tunnels make it easy to feel disoriented. In some areas, the passageways become so tight that visitors must crouch down to move forward. For centuries, these caves were surrounded by strange stories. Some locals believed the caves were connected to spirits of the mountains. Others believed they were gateways to hidden underground worlds. Today, the cave is open to visitors. But when the lights dim and the silence takes over, the atmosphere can feel incredibly unsettling, especially during the dark nights of Halloween. Deep within the forests of northern Japan lies a place surrounded by mystery. Sugasawa Village is often referred to as one of the most haunted locations in the country. According to local legend, a terrible tragedy occurred there many decades ago. The story claims that one of the villagers suddenly went mad and attacked the other residents. In a horrifying series of events, the attacker is said to have killed nearly everyone in the village. When the violence finally ended, the village was left abandoned. Over time, the forest slowly reclaimed the empty houses. Today, almost no physical remains of the village can be found. But the legend continues to spread across Japan. Some people claim that if you search long enough through the forests of Aomori, you might find the hidden road leading to where the village once stood. Others say that strange sounds can sometimes be heard deep within the forest at night. Whether the story is fact or fiction, the legend of Sugasawa Village remains one of Japan's most chilling mysteries. In the northern island of Hokkaido stands one of the most unusual abandoned buildings in Japan. The round schoolhouse was once an elementary school built in a rare circular design. From above, the building almost looks like a giant concrete ring surrounded by forest. The school closed many years ago as the local population declined. Since then, the structure has slowly fallen into decay. Broken windows, peeling walls, and empty classrooms filled with dust. Urban explorers who have visited the building often describe the atmosphere as deeply unsettling. Some say the circular hallways create strange echoes. Others claim they heard footsteps even when they were completely alone. At night, the building sits in complete darkness deep within the forests of Hokkaido. The silence surrounding it only makes the place feel even more eerie. For many explorers, it has become one of the creepiest abandoned locations in the country, and the perfect place to end our list. Japan is filled with incredible landscapes, ancient history, and vibrant cities. But as we've seen today, it also hides places with darker stories and mysterious legends. From haunted tunnels to abandoned villages, these locations remind us that every country has its own unexplained mysteries. And sometimes the most fascinating places are also the most unsettling. So the next time Halloween arrives, would you dare visit any of these locations? Or would you prefer to admire them from a safe distance? End screen. If you enjoyed exploring these mysterious places in Japan, make sure to subscribe for more videos about hidden locations, geography, and fascinating stories from around the country, because Japan still holds many secrets waiting to be discovered.